Welcome to the Bamgboshe Happy Hour. I am Peju Bamgboshe.
Hi everyone, and I'm Naomi Bamgboshe.
And this is the Bamgboshe Happy Hour Pop Edition. How are you, Mom? What's up?
Great. Everything is wonderful over on my end. Waiting for the storm that I hope doesn't appear. Other than that, I am great.
Yeah, it feels like an unusual January day. I think this feels like it still is December, but I'm hoping that the storm doesn't hit, but I'm already prepared if it does hit. I got some nice cocoa, got a bunch of snacks, and Netflix is ready. So
you know what? I have those same things too, and I'm all prepared. And I'm not going to complain because we've been so fortunate. So many parts of the country and parts of the world have had really, tragic weather circumstances. So we can't complain in our areas. For the most part, it's been very pleasant.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I think we should probably start this episode off with a nice toast as always. We're going to toast to our girls. Simone Biles and Caitlin Clark. Simone Biles, congratulations for being named Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year, and to Caitlin Clark for being named Time Athlete of the Year.
Okay, let's raise our glasses to Simone and Caitlin. Continued success, long life, prosperity, health, wealth, happiness. Salud.
Salud.
Oh, delicious.
And we are continuing with, I'm continuing to try January. I think you may take a little dip here or there.
And I'm continuing with semi-dry.
Okay. I like that. I love it.
Okay.
All right. Let's do a brief little sports update as we now know the NFL playoff picture, Mom. Unfortunately, the Bengals did not make it, so they will not be in the playoffs this year. But we do have playing on Saturday the Chargers at the Texans. We have the Steelers, number 6, at the Ravens, number 3. Really nervous about that one. Sunday, we have the Broncos, number 7, at the Bills, number 2. Now, this one is going to be nerve-wracking. The Packers, number 7, versus the Eagles, number 2. Then we have the Commanders, number 6, versus the Buccaneers. And then on Monday, we have the Vikings at number 5 versus the LA Rams at number 4. Now, the Chiefs and the Lions all are on a bye this week so they can relax, rehab, and get ready, for the following week. So anything in there that sticks out to you, Ma?
No, good luck. It's still too many people involved for me to call my favorite.
Okay.
Nah, I'm not going to call any shot yet. Too many people involved, and I have too many people I like, that are still playing, and too many teams that are, very deserving. So let's just let them eliminate each other, and when we get down to the final, maybe 4, then I'll tell you my pick. But not yet. Too many teams still active.
I have my pick, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
And me too.
That is what I'm gonna do. So we'll see what happens. It's unfortunate that some teams didn't make it, and what really is very unfortunate is that the Minnesota Vikings are the number 5 seed, and they actually have to go on the road, and they have a record of 14-3. The way they do things with the conferences, normally this doesn't happen, but it's always a possibility that somebody with a much, much lower or worse record than you is going to host the game. And so I think that's a, complete disadvantage for the Vikings, but I'm sending positive vibes to them. Even though they're not one of my favorites, I just think like the rule is just really kind of effed up. Okay, but the Chiefs and Lions earned their number 1 spot, so good luck to both of them. All right, Ma. Now, there are some coaching changes in the NFL right now. Of course, this may change by the time you actually hear this podcast. Gerard Mayo is out for the Patriots, so we'll see what happens. A lot of people are saying they really want Mike Vrabel, who is also a former Patriot, to be the coach, and he has a lot of experience.
Okay.
It's kind of sad for Gerard Mayo. He is a black coach. This was his first season, and he got the axe. Wasn't a good season, but normally they let people, have a couple of years to, get to know
for some
everything.
coaches, and then for others, forget it.
Right.
One's one and done.
Exactly. Doug Peterson, who is the coach for the Jaguars, has been fired. He had 3 seasons of nonsense, so it was time for him to go. And we had Matt Eberflus, who was fired earlier from the Chicago Bears. He needed to go. Antonio Pierce, who I do like and is a former Giant from the Raiders, he did a terrible job, and I thought that he was going to get fired, and he did get fired. Unfortunately, he did not do a good job. He did have a chance. He was an interim coach for the latter part of last season, and he went into this season with high hopes, and he just, I can't defend him. I can't, unfortunately.
Okay, well, so be it.
We know the Jets are in need of a coach. We know the Titans and the Saints are also in need of a coach.
The Jets, don't they have a coach?
Oh, the interim coach? No, they're not bringing him back.
No, Rodgers.
Oh, yes.
Isn't he?
They may not bring him back. I think he's not coming back.
Oh, okay.
And guess what, Robert Saleh, the coach that they fired, he is a hot commodity now. The people are, wanting to interview him.
Okay.
The Jaguars want to interview him. He definitely is going to get at least a job as a defensive coordinator, maybe a head coach. They shouldn't have done that to him.
All right. Wonderful.
I really didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, poetic justice,
Now, something that is really, really strange is the Giants. The Giants are keeping their entire coaching staff. They went 3-14 this season. Okay, they had a losing season.
No, don't you mean 14-3?
No.
You don't mean 3-14.
3-14.
And they're not making any changes.
They're not making any changes. And wait, guess what? They got rid of their quarterback, Daniel Jones, and they let Saquon Barkley walk, and we see how well he's played.
You mean
this season.
before
all of this for this season?
Yes,
This went into this season.
Oh, boy.
And they let Daniel Jones go in the middle of the season. Their quarterback that they had spent all that money on.
Here's the thing: I don't think they are trying to win.
I don't think so either. I've never seen the Giants.
Will it benefit them somehow in the long run?
No.
To have the worst record in terms of picks for the upcoming season?
However, they won a game that they shouldn't have won, because if they would have won 2-15, they would have gotten the number 1 pick.
Okay,
now
but
they dropped down a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So they still may get Shedeur Sanders. We'll see. We're not 100% sure where Shedeur is going to go.
Shedeur's good?
Oh, yes. He could go.
Okay.
Shedeur can go anywhere from, he's not probably going to go number 1, but anywhere from number 1 to number 7 is where he's going to go.
Okay, good for him.
So.
Okay, good. So he's a chip off the old block.
Yes, he's not quite Dion.
Well, I understand, but he's got a minute to get there too.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Good for him.
So let's see.
Okay.
All right. So that pretty much wraps up that part of our.
Oh, thank you, daughter.
Update.
Very informative. Thank you for the sports update.
Oh, of course. I'm going to kind of segue into semi-sports, but this gets to be a little bit nasty.
Oh no.
So in Fox Sports, former hairstylist Noushin Faraji has filed a lawsuit against Fox Sports, Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and Charlie Dixon, alleging sexual harassment, racism, and a toxic workplace. Faraji claims that her efforts to address misconduct were ignored, leading to an abusive environment. Now, there's all different things that she's accusing. She's accusing the Fox Sports EVP of groping her at a birthday party in 2017. She told Joy Taylor, and Joy Taylor allegedly dismissed her concerns, telling her to get over it. She is saying that Skip Bayless allegedly, made repeated sexual advances, including offering her $1.5 million for sexual favors. And she says that
Skip must have been drunk.
And she says that she rejected it, of course, many times, but he did it several times. She also says that Joy Taylor allegedly mocked Faraji's accent and belittled her after their friendship ended, while also being accused of using sexual relationships with Fox execs and on-air talent to further her career, referring to Joy Taylor. Any thoughts on this?
Well, I hope it's not true. It sounds pretty bad.
A lot of people are coming out and saying they don't believe it.
I don't know anything about it.
And you know Skip is married. And supposedly the woman, the hairstylist, says that she told Skip, aren't you married? And Skip goes, yes, but aren't you Muslim? Didn't your parents have several, or your father have several wives? Of course, that wasn't true. But she is, I think, from a Muslim background or Muslim.
Well, let's just say I hope that none of that happened, and she'll have a hard time proving it.
Yeah. It just, listen, all of this is alleged. Everyone has the right to be heard out in court, but this just does not seem right to me.
It doesn't seem right. She's talking about too many disparate people.
Right.
One with one agenda, another has another agenda.
Right.
A third one has a different agenda. How come they all on her?
Right. And why? Okay, and the thing with Joy Taylor.
And what business is it of hers? Right. And what business is that of hers who Joy Taylor sleeps with if she sleeps with anybody?
Right. That's nobody's
business. If she ain't sleeping with you, or somebody connected to you very closely, why is that your business at all?
And I hate to say this, even though a lot of times it's inappropriate, especially when the person is your boss. There's a lot of workplace romances that go on all the time.
That's right. A lot of people meet and get married on the workplace, and then you're talking about right. Go ahead. And then you mentioned about groping. Well, who were you groping? Maybe you were groping somebody. Did they say anything? Maybe you all were groping each other at the time.
All right. No, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Good luck. Of course it's a joke. Come on. Everything we say is tongue in cheek for the most part. Okay?
Yeah, for the most part.
So what I'm going to say regarding this whole thing is that I hope they resolve it. I get maybe she's broke, maybe she needs a new job, maybe she's got some bills, maybe she misbudgeted. I don't know, something's not right with that. That just sounds like some of it sounds just straight up frivolous. And why would he offer her $1 million when he can get
1.5, Mom.
1.5? What is it that she got? I don't know if his wife has gotten 1.5 million out of him. What is it that she has that Skip Bayless? Mind you, I know he's got deep pockets, but he's not Elon Musk. Why, or Jeff Bezos, okay, to where $1 million don't even really matter too much to him.
You're right.
Okay? Why would Skip Bayless offer the hairdresser who's screwing everybody?
No, she's not. Don't say that.
Well, everybody's trying. Yeah, well, listen. If all those people want to have sex with her, then she must have a reputation. She's had sex with somebody.
Oh no! There was another thing too. She claims that Skip was trying to say that she had sex with Shannon Sharp, which of course she denied that.
Yeah, just because Skip found out she had sex with Shannon.
No, this is all alleged. This is not even alleged. This is jokes now.
I understand all that, but what I'm saying is that how is everybody all after her? How did she get this reputation? Why is everybody after her? What is she doing that all these people want to go after her and give her over $1 million for what?
All right. Anyway, moving on. Listen. This doesn't sound
that's where she lost,
reputable.
That's where she lost credibility.
But she has the right to file a lawsuit if she chooses. Everything will play out in the judicial system or whatever it is, or I don't know. But
behind closed doors and give her a little settlement and go ahead on home.
Right. Something just seems fishy with this. Okay. Moving on, to your girl, and that really is a joke. Blake Lively, and she is still.
We're still giving her attention. That's what she's trying to do.
Well, she has plenty of attention if she wants it.
Okay, go ahead.
We know that she filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios, accusing them of sexual harassment during the filming of It Ends With Us. So we know all that part. Now, Justin Baldoni had a legal response, and he has vehemently denied all allegations, accusing Lively of weaponizing the media. Friedman's claims that Lively's team manipulated the press by sending edited documents to the New York Times. We know they're suing the New York Times for $250 million. They're saying that these documents misrepresented Baldoni's actions. Friedman also hinted that his team, the Baldoni's attorney, has evidence to expose a pattern of bullying and threats allegedly made by Lively, which he claims has been hidden from the public. According to Freeman, Lively used third parties to communicate threats and manipulate Hollywood situations to her advantage. There's a lot of information going on back and forth with them. It's just too much to get into every detail, but he has the receipts. Do we care. He has the receipts to counter most of what Blake Lively has accused him of doing.
Good.
So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are the same as they were when you first introduced this story, is that she's making much ado about nothing. It's not the appropriate way to handle any of it to bring a lawsuit, especially her, when she's the one who is, quote unquote, in power or has the most juice and the most leverage in this situation. It's very inappropriate of her. And I think she was doing something preemptive because she could smell a lawsuit or some further embarrassment coming toward her. And that's what I think she was doing. So.
Listen, for me, I liked Blake Lively, pretty okay. She, was decent. She seemed, fun and cute with her and her husband.
Yeah.
And then now,
whatever.
All of this stuff that's going on is just making me look at her sideways.
That's right.
And, instead of me becoming a fan, because I can't say it was actually a fan, but instead of me becoming a fan, I'm like, is Blake Lively get her off the TV? Well, because what is she doing?
Right. Well, she's not anybody who was ever on my radar in the first place. Yeah. You pointed her out to me. I've seen her in a few nondescript roles where I wouldn't have known her from anybody else that looks like her. And, she's never been impressive to me in a way that I'm like, ooh, Blake Lively. Oh, Blake Lively was good. Yeah. Blake Lively was in this or that. She's never impressed me. As she ain't Kate Winslet, she's not even what's her name, Barbie, what's her name?
Oh, Margot Robbie.
No. She's not any of those people, so she's nobody that impressed me that much anyway. Not that she isn't talented. I don't know that she is or isn't. But what I do know is that I've heard more about her with this lawsuit than anything recently.
There's two things that I remember that happened just in passing. One, I remember just passing through on the TV. This is several years ago, where she was filming the movie, I think The Shallows, where she had to be in a bikini, and she had just given birth at that point to her first child. And she was saying how insecure she felt in her bikini, and I was like, okay, well, this is Blake, and she looks good. She didn't even look like she had a baby, but she was already complaining there. Then
isn't that a common thing with her on steroids? Well, that's a common complaint.
Well, then the other thing, you and I were talking about it when we happened to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were doing like a little. They were each hosting on, I think it was like Jimmy Kimmel, and Ryan Reynolds was interviewing Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman was telling what I thought was a very real, sincere story about the loss of his dad, and he actually did lose his dad long ago.
Right.
And Blake Lively calls up, and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds do a skit in the middle of Hugh Jackman, talking about the sadness that he was going through after his father passed.
Right.
And to me, even if that was planned, it wasn't funny. It was in poor taste.
Right.
And Blake Lively, in her lawsuit, said for Justin Baldoni not to mention her deceased dad.
Right.
So I just...
yeah. Well, like I said, much ado about nothing, and... she put it out there. Okay, so let's just see. Let's just see who has the most to lose, her or him.
And you know what? And another thing on a set, not saying that people aren't inappropriate on sets. People are inappropriate in the workplace. People are inappropriate many times. But I think that, people go too far with being so sensitive about things. Sometimes people are just playing around, and everyone knows it, and there's no ill will meant.
Right.
So I just, to me, like I said, I don't want to, down a woman or not believe a woman, but in this case, to me, Blake Lively is coming across as a person who doesn't look good in this situation.
That's right. You know, gender notwithstanding,
Right.
either you come in 100% honest and legit, or either you're BSing.
Right.
And to me, she's doing a whole lot of subterfuge and BSing because of her own behavior and her own ego and her own entitled and poor attitude.
Right.
That's how I see Blake Lively.
I'm agreeing with you 100% on that, man. Okay, so let's move on to Joshua Jackson and Jodie Turner-Smith. Now we know Joshua Jackson, Pacey, and what is he? Is that show still on? Where he's the
Dr. Odyssey.
Dr. Odyssey. Is he still on?
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought it was an ill-conceived program in the first place.
Yeah.
When every time you show a wonderful luxury ship and the whole crew, everybody is sick, or the crew or the passengers, whatever, everybody's sick. You know, come on.
Yeah.
That should be a scintilla of what's actually going on. Most of it's supposed to be the love boat kind of thing.
Right.
That's what people want to see.
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that this was hurting the cruise industry.
Right.
Every damn time you turn around, everybody is falling out from some mysterious illness on the ship.
Right.
And the doctors are crazy and drunk, and you got to pull them out of the party or wake them up, and they're the only ones to save your life. I mean, who the hell want to see that? That's not good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I thought it was going to be better. I didn't know that's what it was going to be about.
Yeah.
I saw
mean,
1.5 episodes.
It's wonderful for him to be a doctor on there, but they should have had it around a good, competent doctor
Fun,
who had
sexy.
everything in control,
Yeah.
right? And all the women was falling in love, or the men, or all
Whatever he was
everybody,
doing,
whatever
right.
he was doing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, should have
All
been focused a different way. Not everybody just all disgusting and diseased, or on the ship, locked away on the water somewhere. Oh my God.
Well, we know that he is going through a divorce with Jodie Turner-Smith.
They're not divorced yet?
They're not divorced, and I think she actually just filed for divorce. I don't know. They're not
Because they've been
divorced.
separate for a long time.
Yes. So she's seeking $30,000 per month in spousal and child support from Joshua Jackson. She accuses him of failing to provide financial support since their separation. And some of the key points, she said that she spent over $412,000 on legal fees. Custody and property disputes are at the center of, this ongoing divorce.
Yeah.
And she says that she contributed $800,000 on their home, and she wants some of that money back.
Oh, well, whatever. Let them work it out. Whatever. Who cares?
I know the agency is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so just let them work it out.
No comment on their
No, because I don't know
drama.
I don't know their financial situation, and to me, who cares? To me, they need to keep it private. And most people thought they were already divorced. Not just this couple, but every couple going through all that. These people talking hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars almost all the time. You know what? That's not of interest. Those people will be all right.
All right.
That's not of interest to me. The dissolution of the relationship, and how it impacts the kids, that kind of thing can impact our quality of living completely for any family, for everybody.
Oh, 100%.
But all this about working out the finances and this and that, there's no reason that stuff has to be hashed out in public. I'm not a fan of that.
I agree.
I'm not a fan of that. No matter who the couple is, in particular wealthy, sometimes it's sad when it's impoverished people, that we all end up having to support, but when it's wealthy people like that, just let them work that out.
They'll figure it out,
And
I hate
they'll
to say it,
have to.
and like I said, the child is involved in this and that. That's the sad part is
Right.
you don't want the child involved in it. You know?
Right. And he, I don't know what she's been doing, but he's been conducting his life like he's single. So
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on. I don't know what about the financial piece, It just looks like a nasty bitter fight, and they need to work it out. And they will, but they need to work it out without enriching a bunch of attorneys. They need to work it out themselves.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's move on to I don't think you saw this. Ella Mae's viral moment. Now, Ella Mae is a singer. She her real popular song is "Boot Up," but you've heard of her.
Yes, definitely.
So she went viral after a camera zoomed in on her and her son during a Celtics game. And the footage, she quickly shielded her baby's face from the camera, and a lot of people were not defending her. I mean, there was a few. Because they felt that she was there at the game at the suite, and the baby is Jason Tatum's child, and Jason Tatum obviously is the superstar on the Boston Celtics, and he has another son that he has with him up in the press conferences all the time, and they felt that she was going a little too far. What are your thoughts about shielding your child at a basketball game and you're there live?
Let me tell you something. That is absolutely foolish. Mm-hmm. Okay? That is incongruous. Okay? Mm-hmm. Makes no sense at all. Is out of balance. How many people can see you? How many people can take pictures of you, your baby, whatever? What are you shielding? If you don't want your baby seen, you don't bring your baby.
All right.
That's a simple issue.
Right.
That is the most ridiculous thing in the world. It just made her seem like a straight up silly person.
Right. Like the baby did not have to come to the game. The baby has no idea what's going on.
The baby cannot understand what's going on. It's not even the best environment to bring a little child if you want to know for seriously.
Not that size.
Right. No. That's what I'm saying. So the whole thing is silly. The whole thing was silly. The whole thing to me seemed to be an attention grab, mm-hmm. and then I thought the better of it while I'm out here among thousands of people and exposing my child to millions of people.
Right.
Via the internet. And every single phone has a camera.
Right.
So just what was that supposed to be?
Right. And the father of her child is the star, like I said, the best player on the Celtics.
I got it.
And just won the NBA championship.
Right.
So what do you think you're doing?
It's just ridiculous. That whole thing was silly.
I just thought it was real bugged.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I don't really know too much about Ella Mae. She has a good voice, but that was just very silly.
She has a good voice, but does she have good judgment?
Well, that's a whole nother story.
That's another story.
Okay. Moving on to somebody else, whose judgment is come into question.
Uh-oh.
So there is a family feud that has erupted over Allison Holker's memoir, which includes controversial claims about her late husband, Steven, Twitch boss. Holker says she discovered a stash of drugs in Twitch's belongings and reviewed his private journals after his death. Twitch's family, disputes these claims, accusing Holker of exploring his death for publicity. Exploiting. Sorry.
Okay. No, I'm just asking. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so what are your thoughts on that?
Bad move. She is. She's just trying to make money. He's dead and gone. Okay, through his own hand or whatever. Not through any illness that we knew of. And it's just a tragic situation. He was a young man. He left a family. Mm-hmm. And her too. Mm-hmm. But in particular the children. And it's just a very tragic situation. And if I'm in that same position, I may write a book. But it's not going to take on that tenor.
Right.
I may write a book, but it's not going to be what I found, what this, what that, blah, blah, blah. He's not here to defend himself. We have no idea of how bona fide what she's saying is.
It makes her look bad. I don't know if she realizes that.
It makes her look like this is a big money grab. And what does it do to you to malign your deceased husband? How do you benefit? She thinks she's making her book sensational so people buy it so she gets more money.
And the father of biological father to one of her kids, and then he helped raise the other one.
Right.
So my thing is, how does it make you look? You knew your husband was going through these problems too. Why are you putting that out in the universe? there's just so many different ways
if it's
to
true.
look at it.
If it's true, but none of it is good.
None of
it's good. None of it is helping at all.
Right.
None of it's helping do anything except you trying to sensationalize to sell a book, to bolster your bottom line.
Right.
And that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. And you know what? And it doesn't make you look like a good person.
No.
It makes you look like a crumb of a human being to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like he, was a murderer or was some terrible type of person or whatever. If he did have internal struggles, which clearly he did, I don't know why, but many of us do.
Right.
So what does it make you look like to come across and sound like you're just trying to criticize and malign him and attack his character?
Right.
That's what it sounds like you're doing.
Your deceased husband.
Yes.
So
no,
that's not a good look
no.
on you.
Maybe he. You know what? I hate to say this. Listen. I'm not being glib. I'm just saying. Maybe he just really needed a damn divorce. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at what she's revealing about her.
Right.
That we wouldn't think. We
right.
wouldn't think that. Maybe he just needed to get a damn divorce.
Right.
Oh God.
Okay. All right, so let's move on. Now, this is just really silly. Now, Amy Schumer has a new movie out, and a lot of people, fans, were not really excited about what they saw. The name of the movie is called Kinda Pregnant. So Amy Schumer, I guess she's an English teacher who fakes a pregnancy. Now, a lot of people feel that this is just out of whack for 2025. She goes around with a pillow, I guess, or with some type of stuffing, pretending to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Just kind of read the room. Why would a grown ass woman do something like that? And this is a comedy. What is the point? It just seemed very
it already sounds very unfunny.
Right. And I don't know. I don't know Amy Schumer. She seems to. I don't know if I think Amy Schumer is funny or not. A lot of times
Amy Schumer is hit and miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's funny, sometimes she isn't. And it's about a 50-50 ratio. Yeah. Comedians, most of them are 80-90% funny.
Right.
But hers is 50-50. Maybe even 40-60. Maybe she wins 40 and loses 60. Win-lose ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. The whole premise doesn't sound funny at all.
I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna skip that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right. So let's really get into what's really important, and that is, of course, Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight was
okay, daughter.
I know.
My goodness.
I know. We're gonna.
All right. Okay.
So
let's roll with it.
It was on hiatus, for a few weeks over the holiday season.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the couple that seems to have the least problems that we see. Who knows on these shows? But that is Camille and Thomas.
Right.
Now they seem to be getting along, pretty good. I guess Thomas was trying to be romantic, and that's why he was late for their little basketball workout.
Yes, he was hooking up something for her.
Right, and so that was nice.
I suspected that because he was late and he didn't say why.
Right.
He never said anything, and I said, boy, I bet he was planning something for her.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was sweet.
That was totally sweet.
And I'm starting to like Camille a little bit more as the season progresses, because she's not with as much silliness as she was before.
Right.
But
she's showing more toward Thomas.
Yes.
She's showing that she cares for Thomas.
But what I will say is that I don't think that she realizes that she doesn't come across as young as she thinks she does.
That's so funny to me, because she has the energy of somebody 20 years older than she is.
Right. And she's always making fun of him.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like,
she could use quite a bit of tweaking.
Yeah.
And so, but it's okay.
It's fine.
Because,
but nobody would know that there's really any age difference between
please.
them.
Not at all.
I'm just
not whatsoever. So, but they're funny, but they're sweet together.
Yeah.
And he's not making an issue out of it, because he could say a lot. he could say a whole lot about her, and it would be true.
Right.
You know, and it would be fair because she didn't hold back, you know, critiquing him. But he didn't. He just said, "I'm not even going there. I'll, you know, look at the positive things and we'll work it from here. You know, I look at the things that are really important in the relationship, and he is seeing some of that in her. You know, yeah. So they're making it work. They're pleasant with each other. They're enjoying each other, and that's so good. We know everything is not perfect. We understand all that, but for the most part, they are working together to see what it's going to be.
Right. Yeah. So I don't really have any really criticism, you know, for Camille and Thomas.
No, nothing major. No.
All right. Next couple, and this is kind of a toss up, but I'm gonna go with Madison and Alan. Now, Madison and Alan, there doesn't seem to be any type of romantic spark, at least from Madison's perspective. Alan, we know he's old, you know how he thinks that she's so attractive. He always mentions that. But for Madison, you know, it's been so difficult for me, but I'm really trying, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't see this working out at all. I think they have about a 0 chance of working.
I don't know about them working out, but what I am going to say for them, I'm not getting anything sexual or, you know, anything from them. But what I am getting from them is that at least they're not being totally disrespectful toward each other. And they're not being mean and cruel toward each other. So, you know, I mean, that's a low standard. Right. That's a very low bar to meet for somebody that you actually married to already. Right. But I'm glad that at least it's that. Mm-hmm. It's not where when I see them together, I go, oh my God, I can't stand to see this. It's brutal. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not brutal in that way. Mm-hmm. To me, she's a little much and he's a much nicer human being than she is. Or he comes across, presents himself as a much, you know, kind of nicer person than she is. He doesn't complain as much and whatever. But overall, well, they are at least respectful of each other.
Well, here's my thing. What would happen if he wasn't attracted to her? If he wasn't attracted to her, do you think he would still be as nice? So I think that's it. I think that she's not attracted to him.
Yeah.
And so it's much easier for her to be not quite as nice. Although she's not nasty.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. I think there's still more of your personality because I have seen a couple people where there was no attraction. They weren't attracted and they were nice, but they just, you know, and they didn't talk mean or nasty to the person, but they didn't talk romantic way. And I'll never forget, I'll tell you one glaring example. And Keith, he was as nice all the way as you could be, and she was a lot. She was a whole lot. She was silly. She was immature. She was everything, foolish and silly. Okay. And he just stood his ground. You know, to the point that we didn't know what he was going to say. Yeah. You know, and he was just all the way around. He had that personality. Yeah. You know, where he was treated her very kindly, very nicely, and never demeaned her. To me, because I'm not attracted to you, doesn't mean that I have to make you feel bad or demean you or start accusing you of being this or that.
I completely agree with you. Yeah. I'm just saying it's much easier for him to be nicer to her because he's attracted to her. Well,
yes, but also some people are just kinder than others. True. So to me, it's a combination. Things. Yeah. It's both things. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to another couple who I don't think have any chance in hell of working out is Juan and Carla. Now, we know Carla quit her job. Now, I always thought that Carla was a entrepreneur, meaning that she was like self-employed and a contractor. And
she misrepresented herself already.
Right.
Because she was already employed by somebody.
Right. So that didn't make any sense to me. And then she was saying something about,
how did you quit your job when you don't have a job?
Right. And then she's saying that she has work coming up or she's flying over to New York. but then nothing is actually booked, and there's no rates. There's none. You see, Juan was all on it.
Oh yes,
Juan was all about what's going on.
Juan is about it. Mm-hmm. Juan took her to his place of business and what he does and who does what and this and that. Juan is all about it. But Juan told her that from the very beginning because he shared it with the whole audience. He was on camera talking about who he is, what he is, how he lives, the sacrifices he makes, how he's always under the gun to try to make payroll and to get up a certain amount of money because he's got to do this and do that and make these sacrifices, and he does multiple things over here, over there, everywhere. He said it from the very beginning, how he lives, he's got roommates or this or that because he's holding it down.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff going on.
He said it from the very beginning. But
also makes me think that he didn't need to come on the show either because
one or two things.
He was not ready to be a husband.
Right. One or two things. Either he was not going to be committed to a relationship like you said, and or he was going to have to find somebody just like-minded who just went in it with him like that.
But who would that be? Because
well, that's what we're seeing. Yeah. That's what we're seeing. Most people are not.
No.
And that's what we're seeing.
And Carla, not necessarily. Carla could be a certain type of wife. She's not necessarily the type of go-getter that he wants, but she can be a wife who, they get married, they have kids, and she stays home with the kids. But it's not everybody like that.
But you know what? And he didn't say he was looking for that right at this time. And that's where your point comes in even more strong. Where your point comes in is that this man is telling you he's doing all these things and he is making it happen right now. He's in the throes of juggling 1,000 balls at one time. And he doesn't really necessarily have the time to prioritize this family and home life and whatever.
Right.
And so if you're not in it with him, if you're not 10 toes down with him, as far as running his business and out there getting his hustle on, then you really not going to fit well into his life.
I don't even understand why he thought it was a good idea for him to want to get married, because even, like, say, for example, my wife wants to have kids. What type of father are you going to be? You don't even have time. You just don't.
I see. That's why I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what he asked for, what he was looking for, whatever, except for a business partner.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't even know what
he just
happened with that.
Need a sex partner, and he's not interested in Carla.
Well, he says he doesn't want to have sex with her, but like I said, I felt that from the very beginning, more so than I've ever felt it from anybody. I felt with him it was sexual, and the reason to me was very obvious, because from the very beginning he looked right at her body and had disappointment in his face. He looked down at, I'm telling you, he looked right at her body, and I could see he wanted a more voluptuous type of person, more voluptuous. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Well, moving on to another couple who I think has zero chance in hell. That is David and Michelle. And Michelle, listen.
You mean chances with each other?
With each other.
Because David is a sweetie pie. He's got chances with a lot of people.
Well, okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing with David. Like, I believe that I was hard on David in the beginning because of his living situation. Now, I stand by that he is a 36-year-old man, that he doesn't need to.
I think he's 37 by now.
Oh, he probably is 37. Didn't he have a birthday?
I think he did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Probably by the time we get finished, he'll be 40.
At least.
But anyway, he is a man in his late 30s, let's say that, who doesn't need to be living at home with his parents. And that is not necessarily a great thing that you look for when you are looking for a husband.
Look, get over it. That man has his crib down in the basement.
Now, with that being said, he appears to be a very sweet person. We don't know if this is just for the cameras or whatever, because there's some ish that's about to go down. So we don't know. And Michelle seems very high strung, and she just seems very like just tight and just not fun to be around. She just seems like,
I don't know why he can't see this woman will nag him to damn death if he does settle into her.
She's blonde and she has blue eyes. That's all. That is all you need.
But I bet he doesn't know any longer what color her eyes are or her hair.
Right.
I bet he no longer can even see that.
Right. Right. And then that's the silliest thing to just say that.
Well, he was being frivolous. Period.
Guess who else is blonde and has blue eyes? None of these are real blondes, I might add. Yeah. Guess who else, Ma?
Well, none of those are real attributes that you should look for in a mate.
But guess who else has blonde and blue
eyes? No, don't tell me Madison.
No, not Madison. Not the person who he probably is going to end up with.
Not Madison.
Oh, boy. So my... I don't really know what to say about them. I just don't think they really have any chance in hell.
No, me neither. But I just see a lot of charisma in David, and I see him as not anybody we need to be worried about.
No.
I saw how the energy when he walked in that room, everybody was happy to see him.
But see, that's how you get caught up in stuff.
And
you get caught up because
I never dealt with nobody like that.
No, you think all of that is all good, the life of the party and all that other stuff, and not really knowing about.
You don't know. You never see me choose anybody.
I didn't say that you choose anybody.
By the time you were born, I was already with your father. So what are you talking about?
Listen, I'm not saying that.
You are right that a lot of people thought he was nice, though. You are right about that. You might have a point there. Now that I think about it,
I'm saying no. Being nice to me, being nice is the most important thing. A person who is nice to me, respects me, and treats me well. Those are the most important things. However,
you count that stuff.
However, you can also be a clown and a bullshitter. And
he's not a clown. He's not a clown. He's serious. He has a job and everything.
We know some people who seem nice and all of a sudden bullshit. Yeah. And then, Mom, listen, it might not happen in a day.
I'm not going to say anything.
It may happen in a few
You shouldn't have said that about me. That's how I
I'm not talking about you. No, because I don't mean like in real life. I mean that you
picked either husband I had based on clowns. And BS. I never picked anybody based on that.
I'm saying just as you think all of
it might have turned out that way. But
all I'm saying is you think just because somebody is old and friendly and fun.
Well, nice. Don't let me hit you. Don't let me attack what you choose yours based on. Okay, all right. Don't let me start now. Don't let me start. All right now.
All right.
Oh yeah. See, you opened up that can of worms. Okay. All right.
And finally, the couple they really are just gone. Even though they have, I guess, spoilers saying otherwise. Akichi and Emma.
Boy, they're the couple from hell. And see, the thing about the couple from hell, only one has to be from hell, and that fucks up the whole. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry, and that messes up.
You can curse?
Oh, I thought it was censored. I don't know what's going on in this new era. Okay,
please.
But that just screws up everything. Okay, if one is and that Akichi, that is one. Something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with that man. I mean, something's wrong with him. More deep than what he is presenting. Mm-hmm. Something is seriously, significantly wrong with this man. All jokes aside, something is wrong with him. He has a look on his face, this eerie, nasty expression. He's angry with everybody. He's defensive. He's going around maligning and Eminem is nothing but sweet to him, and calling her all kinds of things beyond aggressive and predatory and a-hole and all that. That's not manly. I don't even like this concept manly. That's not like a adult like. That's kiddish. That's immature. He's acting like a victim. He's just acting like a vile human being. He's nobody whose energy you even want around you.
I was just so upset because
me too.
Because I feel like they really just let Eminem down. The so-called experts. This man, first off, we know that he applied to at least 2 seasons. I heard that 3 seasons he at least applied to. Maybe it was 2 seasons he made it far into the application process. He to me seems like somebody who wants attention, is trying to get followers, is not serious about marriage, doesn't care about Emma. And I think that there are some mental health issues. I think he is not a nice person. When he showed up at that table, it would be hard because if I was actually there, I don't know if I could have, had the restraint that I would hope I would have. But I would have probably walked away, got up and said, "Hey guys, I really like hanging out with y'all. Congratulations on 1 month, but I'm out. I don't want to be in next to him."
And
I would have done that.
That would have been the very best action.
But because she was not able to get off what she needed to get off because he hadn't been responding to her for 2 days, and then that's another thing. Why you contacting him numerous times over 2 days? If he don't want to be around you, so be it.
Right.
So be it. Okay?
And he had walked out of the house and left. Why are you calling him?
If he's gone, he's gone.
That's right. If he's gone, he's gone. If he wants to come back, he knows where the house is.
That is
what's the
not,
problem?
And that's the thing. That is not at her stage in her life.
She should know better.
She should know better.
She should know better.
She should have learned that 10, 15 years ago.
That's what I'm talking about. She should know better. That's ridiculous.
No.
And then you say, I have my business. I'm a master's level and I'm this and I'm that.
So
but why you want? But not only so what?
Why? Congratulations on that.
Why are you not having common sense?
Right. Congratulations on that. That's one part of your life. You're a professional. Now act like that when it comes to your personal life.
You see all that. It doesn't seem to be helping you to navigate this relationship.
Right. But I don't want to bash her because I really just feel bad. But sis, girl, you have to know your worth, and dealing with this man, this nothing is not getting
right.
there.
It absolutely. At this point, I couldn't even give him the time of day. She has nothing vested in him. She has no history with him.
No,
and she has no future with him.
No, he doesn't want to have sex.
Right. So what is it?
Right.
What is it?
Right.
It's the big zero.
Right. Okay, the way things look, it's a possible of one couple surviving. That's what I have, because we know
that's the way it's looking now,
and it looks like,
and that could change next week.
But we know that Alan is going to be very upset. He's going to slam the cabinet and burn something, and he's going to be on fire. And,
all right.
Okay, so we'll see.
Well, maybe all that was just him cooking dinner. You know how these shows are.
I'm sure that's what it was, Ma.
Right.
All right. I need you to tell me 3 things that made you smile.
Oh, geez. There's so many wonderful things, but I'm sorry, guys. I have to go for my old standbys. That's the sun, the stars, the moon. Every day, any day that I can see the sun, the stars, the moon, I am good. I am fortunate. Okay. And the other thing, of course, is always family.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with number 1, family, and then friends. I enjoyed the Golden Globes, which we did our little recap on. If you guys haven't checked out that episode, it is streaming now, and it's also on YouTube, guys, as well. And I'm excited about the NFL playoffs. Positive vibes for all my faves.
Okay.
Now, Ma, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
I want to tell everybody to stay safe, stay warm, and enjoy the wonderful winter weather.
Okay. Thank you guys, as always, for listening to the Bamgboshe Happy Hour. Follow us on your preferred platform, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All things Peju, guys. We really do appreciate you. We'll see you next episode. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out full episodes of the Bamgboshe Happy Hour podcast, streaming on most platforms.